Isn't this exciting? Go! All right, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Welcome to Beyond Baroque, the oldest poetry center in the world. In front of this building, Nicholas Ray shot the movie Rebel Without a Cause by James Dean. The history of this venue is unbelievable. It's the old Venice City Hall. All that aside, we're going to start with some weird kind of fake New Age music and then just so slowly morph into some kick-ass poetry.
I first heard these words from John Wolfe of the Venice Equity Alliance outside of the Christian Science Reading Room where he was distributing free food. And when I was asked to read some poetry tonight for this benefit, it was really interesting to see how the more things change, the more things stay the same, because John said these very words, and they're the editorial words from the very first Free Venice Beachhead, printed on December 1st, 1968. This paper is a poem. It is the first of a series. Your participation will decide how often we appear. This paper is a poem for the people. We decided not to sell it to some of you, but to give it to all of you. It is a poem for all of the people. It is also a paper made by people who love to make poems and dig doing a newspaper, which is also a poem.
Let's start off by doing a tribute to some people who passed away. But before we do that, we're all going to take one breath in together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And release. Okay, now this time consciously feel the air going through your hairs in your nostril and really do it. Don't go, I'm not gonna listen to this guy. I'm gonna actually do this as a group. That's the word conspire. Conspiracy theories, conspire means breathe together. So this time we're gonna be really conscious. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Okay, now we got that over with. We're all going to groan together, like just get it out of your system. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's a wimpy groan. Could you fucking okay, this time really mean your groan. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, thank you. This is called call and response. It's probably an old African-American tradition and maybe back from times way back. Okay, but we love it because the Occupy movement invented it by calling it the human microphone. And so, they weren't allowed to have amplification to protest their government, our government. So they said, oh, we can solve that. We'll just say something and then you repeat it. So they go, okay, we're walking down 5th Street, turn right at 6. And then everybody go, turn right at 6. And then Zizek fucked their shit up and he says, okay, repeat after me. And they go, repeat after me. It's okay to fuck animals. Wait a minute, because everybody's on automatic pilot. You just repeat after whatever they say. So he's making a good point. How conscious are you of being here, be here now, your awareness level? So here we go. It's for people who passed. Like Emily Winters. Here we go. We die with the dying. We die with the dying. See, they depart. See, they depart. And we go with them. And we go with them. See, they return. See, they return. And bring us with them. I won't tell you who wrote that because a famous publisher in Venice wouldn't let me say his name in a magazine, but I'll tell you anyways. That's T.S. Eliot, 4 quartets. Thank you, T.S. Eliot, one of the great poets. Okay, here's one more. I know nothing. I know nothing. I live in the eternal. I live in the eternal. Emily Winters, we love you. Thanks for all your art. Thanks for all your art. Tibetan Book of the Dead says they float around, for a few days or 7 days. She's here in this room with us. We spent so much time with her, celebrating her talents in painting murals in Venice and doing so much more. So, Emily, we love you. Thanks for being here with us tonight. Another person who passed away 2 days ago, Sugar Pie DeSanto. Anybody here know? I bet you Phil knows. You know who she is, Phil?
Sugar Pie, man. She did some great, high heel sneakers that slip in.
Okay, if you're not aware, just go to your YouTube, Google, and watch this woman. So she died at 89 4 days ago. She's dancing up in heaven right now. She's known for her raspy vocals and Gut Bucket Blues. In the Basement, a duet with Etta James and Sugar Pie DeSanto. She was known for her acrobatics on stage. So she toured with James Brown, and he's known as the hardest working man in show business. Sugar Pie gave him a run for his money. So they both would stand on the piano, jump off it, and land in splits. He'd tell her, don't jump off the piano and land in a split tonight. And she'd go, why not? James Brown would say, because you're making me work too hard. You've got to watch her. She is what we call a geo-earth mother, a gem. I wrote an essay called Can Art Stop War? And it's all based on that. Maria Gimbutas, who's an archaeologist who studied right here and taught at UCLA. They've had tributes to her in this room. Rianne Eisler, Chalice and the Blade book. And that basically says matristic civilization, that's matriarchy. It's better to call it matristic civilization, is that we are not hardwired for violence and war as much as we're hardwired for cooperation. That's women give birth and nurture. So that's why, we should stress this in this age where we still are brainwashed to believe that some wars are necessary. It's bullshit. And we can do something about that. So we're going to have a gem herself, Kelly, come back up and do another poem. Thank you, Kelly. You guys.
This is from the Venice West that was originally read in the winter of 1962, written by Martin P. Abramson. Published in the Season's Greetings, issue number 2 of the Free Venice Beachhead, 1968. I would like to be a stranger in town, kind of mysterious. Stories would be told about me, and some of them would be fantastic.
Got another one? Go ahead.
I printed out a whole bunch. The first year of Free Venice Beachhead poems for fun. This one's called My Venice Moods by Virginia Bohannon. This is from issue number 3 of the Free Venice Beachhead, January 1969. Calm, wild, cold, mild, fair dove. Rare, dark, hand, led, soul, love. Sand, palm, cool, wave, high nest. Rock, life, moon, like, pain, rest. Deep, blue, gull, true, star, tree. Dawn, hope, well held, feel free.
Thank you, Kelly. She'll be back. So we want to keep the audience participation up. Takes a village to raise a child. That's Nigerian-rooted Native Americans. And Hillary Clinton put in her 1996 book. So our newspaper here, the Beachhead, is a shared responsibility. Again, we want to thank Eric Alberg and all the people who work on the Beachhead. And if you've never submitted to the Beachhead, you should. Because we need your participation. You don't have to be a writer. You can just say, hey, I have something to say, and I'm going to say it. Like Marshall McLuhan said, shut up, he said. Marshall was great at saying the front page of the newspaper is the great American novel. Guess what the great American novel is now? The thumbnail on YouTube. It's like when we read the Beachhead, it's like getting in a warm bath. It's a ritual. And you're connecting with other people in your community. The guy who puts out School of Life on YouTube, check him out. His website's amazing. He said, to look at the paper is to raise a seashell to one's ear and to be overwhelmed by the roar of humanity. What a great thing. That's the Beachhead, man. We don't need no stinking shells. We've got the Beachhead. In fact, Susie, I dumpster dove a bag of really cool shells today. So you can spread them out over the garden.
Piss on those shells.
Yeah, but dig it. You know, it takes money to put out the Beachhead, so please contribute. It really helps. So we're going to go round robin. Eric, you can bring the lights up if you want. It's really simple. I stand up for fill in the blank. Okay? Start with you, Flo. I stand up for...
Do I stand up?
No, you're not standing up. Just use your voice.
I stand up for love and peace and creativity and...
That was like 5 words. Keep it down to 3 to 5
Oh,
words.
please,
But
please.
Flo, you deserve 5 words. The great Flo, and here's Rockstar Zane. Please stand up.
Continuing mystery.
Continuing mystery. Go.
Gina Lola Brigida.
Whoa!
Except for her too.
I would stand up for it too. But you know, Marilyn Monroe, no, Bridget Bardot says, when I'm in love, I don't think. I'm like, good luck. How do you turn your brain off? The great Eric Dugdale, what do you stand up for? Waiting in line. Tell me your name. Eric, what do you stand up for?
Power.
Truth to power.
Yeah.
The greatest activist in Venice besides Margaret Malloy. Sorry. The 2 greatest. Lydia.
Lydia Ponce.
I stand up for
The indigenous. Thank you. Susie Williams.
I stand up for what everybody.
Penny, what do you stand up for? A good idea. Kelly. Believe me, if you repeat, all right. Polly D, greatest harmonica.
Truth, justice, and Marilyn Monroe.
Woo!
Yeah.
Jay.
I stand up for Lane Under.
Whoa! Tell us your name, sir.
Pretty sexy.
Stand up for Lion Dad.
Peace on earth. Tell us your name. Good company? Beautiful. Biodiversity. Okay, go ahead. Animals.
Hey.
I stand up for home.
Yeah, Greg, thank you. Greg will be featured tonight. Please stick around.
He'll be on.
Eric Alberg, what do you stand up for?
Maybe
I
earlier.
stand up for supplies.
For what?
Supplies.
Supplies. Okay, we got Sam all the way from Cleveland, Ohio.
I stand up for my friends.
Oh, that's what we're about. Stewie.
I stand up for peace and love.
Peace and love. Okay, who'd I miss over here? A couple people really quick. What do you stand up for, sir?
Oh, this is Kendall.
I
stand up for the homeless.
Thank you. What do you stand up for? Thank you. If I miss you, Carmen, what do you stand up for?
Headstands.
Headstands, what do you stand up for?
No more wars.
No more wars. Keep in mind that when they said homeless, you know, the great line is, no, they're houseless because the earth is everyone's home. But, you know, then the great Abraham, who played drum circle for years at Dudley and in the Boardwalk, his wife would say, no, we want to be called the homeless because it's branding us. Because when you say houseless, they're not knowing who you refer to. But it's, you know, there's a million ways to describe it, but there are people who are less fortunate. And, you know, it's our job to take care of our friends. Wait, we got the great Todd here. Todd, fill in the blank. I stand up for.
I stand up for battling aggressive clues.
Thank you. Suzanne, another great Venetian. I stand up for fill in the blank.
Lifting the embargo in Cuba.
Very good. Go ahead.
peace.
Peace. Thank you. Go ahead. I stand up for fill in the blank.
Oh, man. Going once, right?
Well, give us a three to five words.
Freedom.
Freedom.
All right.
Ending genocide.
Thank you.
Yay.
Hey, Gerry, Eric's pie is fantastic. We just cut into it. So if anybody wants Eric's pie,
Eric did it well.
yeah, yummy Eric.
So we're going to have lots of music tonight, and Susie's going to come on at 8:30, and then Greg Cruz and a whole slew of people, so stick around. We're going to do poetry for another hour or so, and we asked some of the great musicians in the world recently on my podcast, what is the function of music? And David Moss said, it's the sound of being alive. So, you know, this is like, how do we, again, we go to T.S. Eliot, another great poet, and he says, what's the function of poetry? And he says, to out your inner dialogue. So we all have something going on inside our head. You know, roses are red, violets are blue. I'm schizophrenic, so am I. You know, you want to get it out of your head and not let it fester. So, Jay, are you ready to do a couple of your own originals? We're going to bring up Jay here. And this is what I learned from the great Richard Modiano. Ran this place for many years. He said, poetry, the task of the poet, this is the beat poet who's an environmentalist, who's the only one that didn't drug out, and he's still alive. His name's Gary Snyder. He says, the task of the poet is to see the world without language, then put that seeing into language. So here's our next poet, Jay Paulson. Thank you, Jay.
Did you do the music too? Sure. Okay. And do you want me to break it in?
However you want to do it.
Here's my first piece. Gerry reminded me of this one when we were talking about our friend earlier. We who have already died. We who have already died entreat you. Remind us the taste of sweet cream and sing tomorrow's hope too. We who have already died cannot dream, nor recall anything that you might deem worthy of remembering. What to do when senses blur, when past and future seem at last to possess no inherent value? Can the singular be its own extreme? Can you name a thing not made of two? Ha ha! We who have already died cannot dream.
Wow, thank you.
Most I miss the grooming. It tickled you picking the lice from my armpit. Tenderly kissing the mites off my eyelid. Language moves nothing the way that your hands did. I had no say in trading them for words. Thank you.
Thank you.
Things to do while helicopters circle overhead. Eat cereal. Loot. Water the lawn. Telecommute. Journal. Build a house. Take the baby for a stroll. Read a magazine. Compose an email. Meditate. Ride a bike. Donate. Worry. Walk the dog. fight. Thank you. They found a dead body in a car that only hours before I walked directly by. Twice I walked directly by a dead body in a car. Can anyone speak French? L'abeille sait ce qu'il faut faire. Je n'ai aucune idée ce qu'il faut faire. Mais regarde l'abeille. In English, the bee knows what to do. I have no idea what to do. But watch the bee. Thank you.
Jerry will be back to read a Walt Whitman, and Walt's a heavy dude because examining the whole history of why humans think they have to have enemies, and I love Walt. The American Indians say your enemy's your best teacher. JFK says, forgive your enemy, but don't forget their name. Fellini says, I need an enemy, but Walt Whitman says, I no doubt deserve my enemies. So we'll be back to hear some Walt Whitman. And, the beautiful thing that Edgar Allan Poe bestowed upon us was a thing called reasoning backwards. He invented the detective novel. It's called Effects Precede Causes. And this basically was the biggest influence on the symbolists, the French poets like Mallarmé, who spawned all the rock poets like Jim Morrison and Patti Smith and Kurt Cobain and Bob Dylan. Bobby Zimmerman. And so, they asked Bob Zimmerman, they said, are you a poet? And he says, no, I'm a trapeze artist. So what they did was they spawned Mallarmé to learn from Edgar Allan Poe that effects precede causes. That is, it doesn't matter what you say, it's the effect you want to have on the person. Look at the rock star, he knows, he's nodding his head. It's the effect that you want to, Zane, he knows. He got laid being a rock star, I know, right, Zane? Yeah, hello. And so this is what Mallarmé said. He says, you don't paint the painting, you paint the effect you want to have. So it goes along with T.S. Eliot again, saying poetry can communicate before it's understood. That's why I'm constantly encouraging you all to join in and read Finnegan's Wake with us out loud with a group of people. We've been doing it for 29 years here in Venice, and it's really easy. You can come on our Zoom once a month, and it's really fun. So I'm going to do one little test, and then we'll bring Kelly back up with some more poems that she investigated were in the Beachhead many years ago. So like Frank Zappa and James Joyce said, all times are happening now, all at onceness. You see, it doesn't matter when you read the Beachhead. It can be an old issue or a new issue. It's always relevant. I haven't given up on hope. I want to welcome you all. A very deep concern. Think about compassion and concern. An emphasis on peace. Let us learn together and laugh together and work together. Anybody want to guess who wrote that?
Huh?
Jimmy Carter.
A+ to that man right there, Jimmy Carter. Now this is what our own Paul Krasner, the great comedian activist, he did that once and read a speech at a commencement, ceremony. Everybody clapped and he says, oh, by the way, Hitler wrote those words. So thank you for being aware there, Mr. von Hoffman. His daughter and him helped start the Venice Heritage Museum. Let's give it up for that. She not only gave birth to a child, she gave birth to a museum. If you haven't been there, come join us at our Venice Culture Salons. They're the third Thursday of every month at 3 o'clock, and we talk about Venice issues like the one I have to tell you about that I'm always going to keep repeating. Why is the pagoda at Rose and the Boardwalk fenced in for 4 years? Why is the same woman who got the cops to do that hiring thugs to spray mace on the musicians who've played there for 40 or 50 years or even more? This is a reality, and most Venetians, I tell them this, they go, so what?
Speak her name.
Well, Carmen, you know her name?
No, I don't.
Most people, like Marty, knows her name. I ain't going to say it because he doesn't want to be maced. It's a reality in Venice, and we can do something about these kind of issues. So let's go. Say it again.
FTP. Buck Tracy Park.
Yeah, she's.
Are you being recorded?
FTP. Buck Tracy Park.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So
This
this is what I do at my salon at Venice Heritage Museum. It's disguised as an art and culture salon, but we talk about issues. We talk about the history of all the musicians who played on the boardwalk and all the photographers and filmmakers and creatives who've been through our great town. So please join us. The museum is open every Thursday through Sunday. It's free. And you can just wander in there and learn about your own town and its history. What I'm doing is called live oral history. So it's us talking. So Kelly, you want to bless us with a couple more poems from the Venice Beachhead? Wait a minute. As you walk up, Kelly, I'm going to do one. Just to show that we love everybody. We have more than 3 hard papers and magazines in Venice. There's the Argonaut, started by a gay guy many years ago who's been up and down, but it's still coming out. There's the Beachhead, which is probably the oldest. And then there's Venice Living, which is kind of a honky rag, but it's actually featured a lot of us, and it's really an amazing paper in a way. I'm going to read a poem that I read in their latest issue. I was the odd one in the crowd, a different beat, a quieter sound. But in their eyes I found no change. Love stayed steady, soft and warm. Though I stood apart, they never turned. Their arms were wide, their hearts still burned. And in that warmth I learned to be exactly who I was meant to be. They loved me and embraced me because I am me.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Wow.
Really cool poem in a paper like Venice Living. Wow. Okay, Kelly, sorry.
Wait, Gerry,
Yeah.
just say who did it, because that's important.
The name of the poem is Family, and it's by Ethan Bell, and he's a young adult who has spectrum, who is nonverbal, and it was really beautiful that they penned it. So, you got to love your enemy. If you think, oh, that's a honky paper, explore the things that you hate and try to figure out why you hate them. Flip it. Go ahead, Kelly. Thanks.
So here's some more from the first year of the Free Venice Beachhead. This is from second year, February 6, 1969. Since I've already read a poem from Virginia Bohannon, I'm going to read one of my favorite ads that was printed in February 69 because Cliff Torrance was a very brave man. he printed, and I'd love if this was printed in a current issue, because I'd love to see whoever's the address he printed is probably an illegal Airbnb, and I'd love to see them get this shit scared out of them. The ad says, business opportunity. Are you in a rut, broke, out of work? Do you desire to better your financial position? Desire to find true financial security? Contact Cliff Torrance, 392-2765, 106 and a half East Breeze Avenue, Venice. March 1969, issue number 5. I love this poem. They didn't print any poems in April. There was a lot of heavy shit going on, and February, like March, like they didn't print. They didn't print. They wanted to do poems every issue, and then they skipped a couple. So then they made up for it by printing a whole bunch in the March issue. And this is one of my favorites by Lee Bolin. It's untitled. The crumbling buildings fall into the sea, building on top of building. Window over window on an age-old, ageless beach of bright yellow and jazz. Floating out over the sea as little children with angelic faces pee all over the beach and in the mouths of frogs and on the heads of babies with hair like peach fuzz. Okay, Lee. And in case I don't get to come back again, I want to read the one that was printed in the October issue, the month and year I was born. Wow. Issue number 11, lucky number. So this was printed on the month I was born, October 1969. And this is when things started to get really heavy in Venice. I mean, you thought things were getting heavy. This is heavy. There's a lot of heavy stuff going on if you read the old issues. The Day LA Did Penance by Ralph, October 1969, issue 11 of the Free Venice Beachhead. In tribute to a Mr. Harrison and his stalwart associates, employees of the city, who pursued diligently their duty and tore down those dangerous colored banners which decorated the canal area at festival time. Remember when the colored flags were flying in dear old Venice by the shining sea? Now some consider flying flags a menace, especially if they're flags of liberty. So now the pennants are no longer flying, the penitents are properly chastised. To fly a flag without the law's permission is something that is rude and ill-advised. Now who are the tenants to dispute these tenants from premises that's not their property? But tenants can become a landlord's nemesis, especially if they're fighting to be free. Those folks who wear those long and ugly faces and try to force the will on you and me, especially when they think of other races, which chance has forced to live in poverty. To them, canals are now a great obsession, a shortcut to the lands of wealth and power. To state and city gods, they make confession. The poor are in the way, so they must cower. Let's send them on a nice prolonged vacation to a place where they are sure to have some fun. Vietnam. A place that's sure to fit their haughty station. Up the alimentary canal with rod and gun.
Wow, Kelly, that was so cool, and the research you did there. So You found those somewhere at the Venice Heritage Museum? They had them posted, or what was that on the Venice Heritage? Tell them the little thing about the Venice Heritage Museum newsletter. You know, and you found these, what was that paper hanging at Venice Heritage Museum? All those mimeographs, yeah.
Oh, the rainbow pages.
Yeah. Tell them about that for a second. Please.
Well, you can search up the archive at freevenice.org of all the back issues, but you can also, what's interesting is somebody who came to Venice, or for some reason, Wisconsin, there's a Wisconsin Historical Society that also has copies of all the old original Free Venice Beachhead issues, and it's a lot of fun to look those up.
Wisconsin?
Yeah, Wisconsin.
Wow.
You're still a subscriber.
I guess they're still a subscriber. And I don't know what you want me to tell you about the rainbow pages, but it's awesome. So yeah, I highly recommend it.
There was some sex thing on the, they rented, anyways. We'll figure that out later.
Right.
So we had some other poets lined up. Francisco, is he here? And is Matt here?
Yeah.
Matt is here?
Yeah.
Okay, so Matt, you're going to come up in about 30 minutes, so don't leave. You're up exactly in 30. So Jay, you want to come up and bless us with some Walt Whitman, and if you have another original or two? Thank you so much. It's actually Joseph Paulson. Thank you.
Just to call me late to dinner.
I'd say what you will about Walt Whitman. I don't know if you love or if you hate him, but when I read this one, I think to myself, if we just tried to have some little bit of this with strangers, things would be so much nicer. This is Walt Whitman's To a Stranger. You guys gonna do any music or no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sure. Go ahead.
we have to hear the first word, though.
To a stranger. Passing stranger, you do not know how longingly I look upon you. You must be he I was seeking, or she I was seeking. It comes to me as of a dream. I have somewhere surely lived a life of joy with you. All is recalled as we flit by each other, fluid, affectionate, chaste, matured. You grew up with me, were a boy with me, or a girl with me. I ate with you and slept with you. Your body has become not yours only, nor left my body mine only. You give me the pleasure of your eyes, face, flesh. As we pass, you take my beard, my breast, hands in return. I am not to speak of you. I am to think of you when I sit alone or wake at night alone. I am to wait. I do not doubt I am to meet you again. I am to see to it that I do not lose you. That's Walt.
So another great poet who inspired me constantly was Nikki Giovanni. She was born in 1943 and died in a few months ago or just recently. These people get their obits in the New York Times. They get on the front page of the New York Times. It's like finally they get some credit when you die. It's amazing. Here's a poem she wrote. It's called Quilts. Like a fading piece of cloth, I'm a failure. No longer do I cover tables filled with food and laughter. My seams are frayed, my hems falling, my strength no longer able to hold the hot and cold. I wish for those first days when just woven I could keep water from seeping through repelled stains with the tightness of my weave, dazzled the sunlight with my reflection. I grow old, though, pleased with my memories. The task I can no longer complete are balanced by the love of the task gone past. I offer no apology, only this plea. When I am frayed and strained and drizzle at the end, please someone cut a square and put me in a quilt, that I might keep some child warm and some old person with no one else to talk to will hear my whispers and cuddle near. It's Nikki Giovanni. Man, what an amazing poet. Look her up. Look up Sonia Sanchez. These are people who inspired me, and they can inspire you. It's like the thing Eric has done doing this tech at Beyond Baroque is that he's got to sit through hours and hours of poetry. And it reminds me of the point of all these aphorisms I always throw in your faces is the point of aphorisms and quick one-liners is how we invent them or reinvent them. So Robert Browning said, our reach should exceed our grasp, or what is heaven for? And Marshall McLuhan reworded and says, our reach should exceed our grasp, or what is a metaphor? So, that's the point, is how do we reinvent, how do we come up with new metaphors and new questions? So I'm going to read a lyric from Frank Zappa. Now he'll be featured here in March. If you're not aware, if you walk into Venice West, the first thing you see is a picture of Frank and a picture of the Freak Out Hotspots map. Now, most rock clubs in most towns, you would see Bruce Springboard or Elton Bob or the new one that Sam taught me, REO Speed Dealer.
Yes.
Or Bachman Turner Overweight. But I can't believe our own club that ripped off our landmark coffee house, Venice West, for some reason you walk in there and you see Frank Zappa and Ornette Coleman. It blew my mind. In fact, Susie will be singing there with Marky Lennon on the last Sunday of this month. So here's a song that Frank wrote, and I'm going to recite it as a poem. Oh no, I don't believe you say you think you know the meaning of love. You say love is all we need. You say with your love you can change all of the fools, all of the hate. I think you're probably out to lunch. It's a reference to an Eric Dolphy album, by the way. Who listened to the Crickets in East LA here and changed the sound of the saxophonist. Okay, there's two more verses here. Oh no, I don't believe. You say that you think you know the meaning of love. Do you really think it can be told? You say that you really know. I think you should check it again. How can you say what you believe will be the key to a world of love? All your love, will it save me? All your love, will it save the world? For what we can't understand, oh no, I don't believe. And in your dreams, you can see yourself as a prophet saving the world. The words from your lips, I just can't believe you are such a fool. God, Muse, thanks for laughing. Let's hear it for Muse's laughter. You know, Muse has worked with everybody too, including Jack Nietzsche, who put for Captain Beefheart's music in Blue Collar. But you got to realize that what Frank was doing was reacting to the Beatles, All You Need Is Love. So he was a satirist. So anyways, what you're going to see here in March is Dominic Priori, who's written books on the history of LA, give you a tour of the 35 hotspots on this map that Frank put out. And it is amazing. It's slideshow, it's video clips and audio clips. So please join us then. We don't have the dates up, but we'll keep you posted. We also want to thank Sam here. Sam is actually proud to be introduced to all you people because he is an aspiring artist and a filmmaker supreme. And what he did was, if you're not aware, my Pixel Vision Film Festival is celebrating its 35th year. 35 years of showing shitty videos that look like crap, and people have given us press all over the world. I've gone to New Zealand with it, but now no one cares about it. But it's basically a toy camera that Fisher-Price put out for 2 years from 87 to 89, so kids could kind of emulate being rock stars on MTV. And then the parents gave them this $100 video camera when home video cameras were $1,000 in 87. And the kid would go, this sucks, it's black and white. So artists went, you mean I can buy a video camera for $100? So artists picked it up. So all kinds of people have made these videos over the years. In fact, Khalil's got in trouble because the name of your video, he doesn't want, but it got him in trouble. I mean, not him, but when they showed it in Minneapolis, someone complained. That's what art is supposed to do, is it's supposed to fuck your shit up and make you go, I can do that. I can do better than that. That's just like poetry. So what I never got to my point about Eric. He sits there through all these poems, and it recalls what Allen Ginsberg's great line was, I've seen the best generations of I've seen the best minds of my generation. And Ferlinghetti, also a Finnegan's Wake-in, who just died at about 100 years old, started City Lights bookstore up in San Francisco in the 50s, and it's still going. Ferlinghetti reworded Allen Ginsberg. He says, I've seen the best minds of my generation bored at poetry readings. Then Eric saw Rich Ferguson, who's going to be in the Pixel Fest. He's been in it many times, and he said, dude, have you seen this poet? Rich Ferguson? I mean, bless yourselves. If you haven't seen him, he's the best poet in LA. He's amazing. So I'm lucky to be married to the great Susie Williams, and she'll be up at 8:30. That's actually 30 minutes from now. And if you're lucky, I know that several of Susie's yoga freak friends, myself, Kelly, Penny, Muse, people who go to Susie's yoga class, you're all welcome. It's at Hotchkiss Park at 4th and Strand in Santa Monica every Thursday at about 11:30, 12 o'clock. It's free. And she's inspired by the great Sufi poet Hafez, who, he's a little cooler than Rumi. They both had a big effect on Mary Oliver. And I happened to check this book out from the library, A Little History of Poetry. And I'm going to read a poem by Mary Oliver. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean, the one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who's eating sugar out of my hand, who's moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snags her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do not know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I've been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everyone die at last and too soon? Tell me what it is you plan to do with your one wild and precious life. Whoa, Mary Oliver, quite amazing. Eric, could we bring the lights up for a second so we can get these people... Jay, you want to come up here? I'm going to have you read this after I go round robin. I'm going to go round robin with the question. It's pretty simple because she brought this up. You can read that in a couple seconds. You forget to die. We'll start with you. Yep. That's the best response I've ever had. Can you forget to die?
Can I forget? That's a question that some thought.
We're going to move on. That's a great response. Go ahead.
I forget to die.
Yeah.
Question.
Danny.
I wouldn't forget to die. Dying, I said I never wanted to die in my sleep because it's a one-in-a-lifetime situation. I wouldn't want to miss.
You want to be there.
Great.
Say, can you forget to die?
I already have.
Thank you. Go ahead. Debbie. It is not what? Thank you, Alice. No. Eric.
It's not up to me.
Not up to you. Boy, you guys are giving me varied answers. Thank you. I appreciate this. Whoa, who can translate that?
I don't love death.
I don't love death. Go ahead. Can you forget to die?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I forgot why I came in this room.
Kelly.
I read the Aleister Crowley Top Tarot that tells you to die daily.
Whoa! Aleister Crowley.
Best
We
answer
like
yet.
that. Okay, let's go to the Led Zeppelin talk together. Okay, go ahead. Can you forget to die? Pass is legit. You can say pass. I don't know. I can't answer that question.
Yes.
Yes, Penny.
I forgot it already.
I'm gonna say don't forget to live.
Thank you. Go ahead. Can you forget to die? Go ahead.
Think about it.
I'll think about it.
Dying? Forget about it.
Forget about it. Greg.
For the near future, at least.
The future ain't what it used to be. Go ahead. It's not up to you. Go ahead.
Pass.
Hope not.
I hope not. Go ahead. Yes, thank you. Okay.
All right.
Go ahead, next.
It's an illusion.
It's an illusion. Go ahead.
Yes.
Oh, I forget to do that every day.
Stewie, and let's hear it for Stewie's flute.
Yeah.
He's got all this music you gotta study and read. Well, you got good memory. Okay.
Oh, I didn't forget to die, but I didn't forget to get born.
Jay, can you forget to die?
I already forgot the question.
Sam, thank you. Can you forget to die?
If you say so.
All right. And Khalil.
I'm planning on forgetting.
Thank you. And Eric, can you forget to die?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
I already died once and I'll never forget.
You know,
How about you, Gerry?
Yeah, Gerry.
I think the right answer is yes, but there is no right or wrong answer.
What was the
That is
question?
my question. So it's just the idea of the act of going through the routine of questions. It doesn't matter the answer in the long run. But I love that you asked me because James Joyce is talking in pretty good way. Remember to forget. So here we got the great, everybody's worried about, oh my God, the world's changing and there's so much going on and we got a shiver in our booties. And here's the great writer, Rebecca Solnit, as read by Joseph Pult.
They want you to feel powerless and to surrender and to let them trample everything, and you are not going to let them. You are not giving up, and neither am I. The fact that we cannot save everything does not mean we cannot save anything. And everything we can save is worth saving. You may need to grieve or scream or take time off, but you have a role no matter what. And right now, good friends and good principles are worth gathering in. Remember what you love. Remember what loves you. Remember in this tide of hate what love is. The pain you feel is because of what you love. The Wobblies used to say, don't mourn, organize. But you can do both at once. And you don't have to organize right away in this moment of furious mourning. You can be heartbroken or furious or both at once. You can scream in your car or on a cliff. You can also get up tomorrow and water the flower pots and call someone who's upset and check your equipment for going onward. A lot of us are going to come under direct attack. And a lot of us are going to resist by building solidarity and sanctuary. Gather up your resources, the metaphysical ones that are heart and soul and care, as well as the practical ones. People kept the faith in dictatorships of South America in the 70s and the 80s, in the East Bloc countries, in the USSR. Women are protesting right now in Iran, and people there are writing poetry. There's no alternative to persevering. And that does not require you to feel good. You can keep walking, whether it's sunny or raining. Take care of yourself. Remember that taking care of something else is an important part of taking care of yourself. Because you are interwoven with the 10 trillion things in this single garment of destiny that has been stained and torn, but is still being woven and mended and washed. That's Rebecca Solnit.
That's like the piece of, Matt, you're up you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. That's like the piece of art that Laurie Anderson did. She took the front page of the New York Times and the front page of the Chinese paper equivalent to the New York Times, cut it into strips and wove it together. So that's what I learned at this great jazz Zoom the other day with all these great jazz musicians was Ellen Barr. She's actually a Venetian who plays flute in a lot of avant-garde groups here in LA. And she says, oh, I got it. I got it with my Ziploc bag. There was one red line and one blue line, and the bag didn't work unless you slid them together. So it's like Frank Zappa said, you gotta love the shit. You gotta love the police as they beat the shit out of you on the street. Embrace your contradictions. So we got Matt up here to close us out. Thank you so much, Matt.
All right, so this is a world premiere. This is some work I'm working on right now from a upcoming manuscript called Elon Musk Must Be Stopped, Cantos 1 through 25. And so I'm going to read the name of the poem, and I'm going to read the poem. Hold your applause to the end, okay? Here we go. Greed. Bury me alive. Bury me in a sarcophagus of gold, oil, diamond. When it is time, line my gut, flood my lungs through a coin and precious metal. Replace my heart with exclusive right. Bury me with knives so I may slit the throat of all who seek, who strive, who covet, telling your life down the deep and dark and hole. Bury me alive. Bury me alive before the heat leaves my body. Bury me with knives where my hands grow dead and cold. Bury me alive with knives, alive, 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 mine, 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 mine. Bury me with knives.
Sometimes I dream of a fall.
The seasons shift one to the next, the autumn wind. Outside my window, sometimes I dream of the falling leaves, green to red and gold. Sometimes I dream eyes gouged, dangerous. I wield a mighty axe. Heroic, tragic, I die in a hailfire of bullets at the hands of the proud and impoverished. Joyous and cathartic in the face of public execution, the bloodthirsty mob, the maddening crowd. Sometimes the dream buries itself in a pine box. Small minds in small circles making small talk. The banality of the death march. Sometimes I dream of computers and rockets, space junk in pockets, bailouts and bonuses, the long run, universal default, a war of drones, a disfiguring gas, a lake of fire, an island of trash, a dying ocean, a punctured sky, of an acid rain, of raw material, of rare minerals spied by satellites in the sky, of no child soldier left behind. Sometimes I dream of rotting suburbs, an abandoned metropolis, insurance bandits marauding the halls of medicine, of cage-ready chiefs of police, of televised governors assuring the public that come flood, come high water, come crisis, come pandemic, the prison gates will never open. Sometimes I dream of a tent city lying in the parking lot of the electric casino. Pockets full, eyes crazed, out of control. I turn my face. I turn away. Sometimes I dream of shame. Sometimes I dream all night. Sometimes the dream never goes dark. Never in the dream can I read the clock. Other times I dream I answered the call. The axe, the match, the guillotine. Sometimes I dream of late capital. Sometimes I dream of the fall. This next one's called I Got Called a Wetback on Facebook and it didn't violate community standards. Fuck you too, Mark. This one's called Keep. A figure of freedom, a gallon of milk, of oil, the cost of a speech, fascism. Fascism is classically defined as a merger of state and corporation. As experience, it is a tear of the colonies moving ever closer to the center. It is when the imperial nation goes full prison experiment. And yet and still, And yet, 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 and still keep fighting, keep striving, keep organizing, keep the faith, keep the flame, keep the fire burning, keep yearning, take courage, keep breathing, keep reading, keep dreaming. They can never ban our thoughts. Keep your loved ones near, keep what you hold dear. They can never cage a memory, keep shutting it down, keep walking out, keep rising up, keep resisting. They can never catch us all. In the face of fascism, the war waged by the will of the five-star general public. Fascism, the line in the sand drawn by the encroaching ocean. Fascism, the hellfire forming at your feet. In the face of the firing squad, in the face of bayonets, keep your head held high, remain defiant. Cry your life story into the barrel of history. We did not go quiet. Elon Musk must be stopped, Canto 1. When presented gifts, they severed limbs, shipped children, cracked the heads of infants against a stone that demanded more. By sea, by sword, by disease, by design, genocide. First charge, shore, sailor. It's your first time around, captain. It's all you have to offer. The blood, the blade, this new crusade, this human plague, this beast that walks upon two legs. Opening chapter, this original sin, all this long after. First contact, naming distant edicts, kings, and holy war. They set fires to corn, torch monuments, coin, destroyed aqueducts and dams, and called this work the Lord's. They raped, they killed, they pillaged, enslaved, rerouted trade, built the wealth of modern Europe off the theft of two continents. Then to cover the distance with the said, and what they had done, they turned to everything and everyone cried out, Indio, Mestizo, Santo Domingo, New Spain, the Hudson Bay, Washington, King Philip, merciless Indian, by sea, by sword, by disease, by design, genocide, by any name. Elon Musk must be stopped, Canto 2. Mules wind down the road. Mules wind down the road, down the mountain. The mountain eats men. Mules carry silver to the mule that fuels the armada. Rich Potosi, the envy of kings, king of mountains, treasury of the world. To reach, they leap, knives and teeth, fleeing debt from merchant ships, dreaming of silver and gold from merchant ships, fleeing debt, knives and teeth, they leap to reach the king of mountains at the foot of a rich god, Rich Potosi, where the air is thin, the wind is ice, in the high Andes high, where mercury and soot compete for sky, the engorged and desperate meet in a game of thieves, high up the gun, high up the leaf in deadly smoke, a sacrament of blood, holy empire, precious metals, sacred dust. Welcome to Rich Potosi, the envy of kings, city of Villa and slum, church and brothel, rising fortune, cheap thrills with the life of a poor Indian is cheapest still. All hail Rich Potosi, the king of mountains, the stuff of dream and legends, treasury of the world, the minter of coin, bankroll of a conquest that once fueled the invasion, that once exhausted was soon forgotten, eyes to the heavens, stuffing lithium in pockets, tearing money from the earth. Elon tweets, we will coup whoever we want, we will coup whoever we want. Elon tweets, we will coup whoever we want, knives and teeth. Elon tweets, we will coup whoever we want, stuffing pockets with lithium, tearing money from earth. We will coup whoever we want, knives and teeth, knives and teeth. Elon tweets, Elon tweets, Elon tweets, knives and teeth, knives and teeth. Elon tweets, we will coup whoever we want, knives and teeth, knives and teeth, knives and teeth. Elon tweets, 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 we will coup whoever we want, knives and teeth. Elon tweets, knives and teeth. We will coup whoever we want. Elon tweets, knives and teeth. The mountain eats men.
Yeah.
Elon Musk must be stopped. Cantos number 7. And it's hell on earth. And it's hell on earth. There's a devil in the boardroom, a demon in the sky, and it's hell on earth. And it's hell on earth. And there's a preacher in the pulpit and a child in the mind, and it's hell on earth. And it's hell on earth. And there's genocide in the tube and a commercial jingle on your mind, and it's hell on earth. And it's hell on earth. And it's hell on earth. Elon Musk must be stopped. Canto number 8. I am a lumberjack and I sing my song, jobs, jobs, jobs. I am a lumberjack and I sing my song, jobs, jobs, jobs. Now, children of the world, listen to me. If it weren't for lumberjacks, your favorite books still be trees. A baby is born, young couple needs a crib. If it weren't for lumberjacks, young couple live in sin. The cities we love, once covered in green. Hey, you there, that's a really nice swing. Cause people gotta live, invest to ring the bell. Let's pay paradise. and build a hotel. I am a lumberjack and I sing my song. Jobs, jobs, jobs. I am a lumberjack and I sing my song. Jobs, jobs, jobs. Environmentalists cry, environmental collapse. Might listen better if they learn to get off their ass. Because if you want to eat, you gotta crack an egg. And if you want to drill, you gotta lose a leg. Small price to pay, keep the economy strong. Because we're all lumberjacks, now sing along. I am a lumberjack and I sing my song. Jobs, jobs, jobs. I am a lumberjack and I sing my song. Jobs, jobs, jobs. Final bone. Elon Musk must be stopped, Canto 12. And this one is a bit satirical. Here we go. Wake the fuck up, America! This is your up and Adam, your bootstraps, your two good hands, your father knows best, your favorite son, your self-made man. And I don't know about you, America, but I got it out the mud with a small $1 million loan from my father, which in today's market is nothing. This is your hero's journey, your founder story. You're started from the bottom, a dream in your heart, a gleam in your eye, and daddy's emeralds in our pocket. Let's fucking go, because we got problems. It's very bad. It's so sad. They're crossing our borders. They're stealing our jobs, canceling our moms. We're getting ratioed on Twitter. That's un-American. Girl bosses, male nurses, and stewardesses. What are we becoming? But I have a solution. Step 1. We gotta abolish the EPA. Complete the pipeline. Drill the Marcellus Shale, the Mexican Gulf, the Alaskan coast, and this perverse, effeminate, unmanly obsession with wind and solar. Step 2, tell those pencil-pushing dweebs over the SEC it's time to get a real job. When I think of all the hard-working, God-fearing, patriotic stockbrokers and hedge fund managers pushing this economy uphill with one hand tied behind their back, well, it really burns my biscuit. Step 3, we must completely eviscerate the minimum wage, raise retirement to 95, work or die. And I know that may sound harsh, and I know that may sound cruel, but they don't know you like I know you, America. No one do. They don't know that I'm the one, the man you can love, the man you can trust, my brother's keeper, your good shepherd, your landlord and white savior, the one to... Oh shit, your landlord, the one to soothe your fears, dry your tears, defend our way of life, your masculine rights, kiss you goodnight, hear your cry, feel your pain, bless the rains. Who am I to not be great? 'Cause I don't know what you, America, but I'm tired of apologize for my success, for the blood I shed, for all the other half lives. Hell, half the time, I don't know what I want. I don't know who I am. I just know I have an insatiable appetite for life. The show must go on. I'm P.T. Barnum. I'm Dana White. I'm Vince McMahon. Ooh, yeah. I'm Joe Rogan. Bill O'Reilly. I'm a little guy. So a big man. I carry a big stick with a big hand. And I fill it with big oil. And everywhere I go, it's all the fucking same. You fucking idiots sing my fucking praise. And everywhere I frack, the land it quakes. Acid falling from the sky. Drink it. Drink it. Drink it. Drink it! Drink it, you stupid, ignorant, illiterate, broke-ass sacks of shit! Drink it! I'm making it rain. I'm Matt Sedillo. Some say the best political poet in America.
Woo, what a way to close out. So we are going to take a 5-minute setup break for Susie's set. We want to thank you all, and you're all here because we're trying to raise money for the beachhead. The Venice Beachhead is our lifeblood. Keep it going, and thank you so much to all the poets and the musicians, everybody who helps here. Thank you so much. Give yourself a big hand for coming tonight. Thank you.